What's good, everybody? Thank you for joining us today. So, a while back, we found out the Blood Connection was selling people's blood for about $150 a pop. So, we're going to discuss how we feel about that and if nonprofits in general should be making money off of our charitable donations.
That's a fact. But before we do that, help us get our algorithm up by like, commenting, and subscribing. I'm TK, aka Shooters Joe Jackson.
And I'm Darius, aka Vlad. And this is Mind the Gap. All right, so before we jump into the conversation, I'm going to have the description at the bottom of what qualifies as a nonprofit so we can kind of condense this episode and just focus on more so the concept behind what we're saying. So, how do you feel about nonprofits making profits off of people's donations or charities?
I mean, for me, in the type of society we're in, which is a capitalist society, I understand the premise of it. It's like, how do you survive? And from what my understanding, it's really just a tax code as far as just being non-profit and profit. And it's much easier just to be a profit based company than a non-profit because it's like, from what I'm saying, it's more paperwork, it's more understanding as you have to have.
It's got to be, because you got to make sure you don't break those rules.
Yeah.
In order to have to pay those taxes. Yeah,
and it's like like you got to have like a council or whatever it's called, like of other people to kind of be over it. It's much harder to do that. Yeah. So I understand, but I don't understand. For me, there's nothing that I've seen that would make sense for a nonprofit not to make money or not to sell something.
Yeah. I think I agree with that because in a capitalist society, if you don't make money, you're not going to survive regardless. Like, people are not going to do stuff just for the will, for the goodwill of the people. Like, for that would be nice, but that's not the way we operate. No. But it's just that hearing that Blood Connection is selling each vial, like each packet for $150 after you donate for free that's just shocking to hear for me. And for me, a lot of those times, like when you hear like companies using our data and things like that, at least I'm getting like a service or something in return for you like using my data. Yeah. Like I understand, like I want to help people, so I'm giving them my blood, in an altruistic way. I just want to help people. But then for you to turn around and be like, okay, well, we're going to sell this for $150, but I understand there's operating costs like what you're doing. So it's not more so like I don't like that they're doing it, is that the margin between what we're getting versus what they're getting. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So maybe instead of that chocolate bar that, we get when we donate blood or chips or whatever, it's like, can I get a 5 or like a voucher somewhere or something like that? So maybe for me, like, is there like something?
So you want like, when you go to a restaurant and they have like the little stamps.
Yeah, give me a punch card for something. Give me a punch card for something. So you know what I mean?
Like if you need blood, it's like, hey, hey, I done made my round. Yeah, but sometimes they give you like, they give you I know when you get the blood from like, when you, take your blood at the Blood Connection, they give you like the Chick-fil-A card or some, gift card.
See, I'll be honest with you, I don't think I've ever donated blood. So so I don't really know what they give.
So like I know my girl, when she goes, she gets like maybe like a gift card somewhere. So they do that. Okay. But that's a good point that you make, because what I was gonna challenge you on was like how you feel about Goodwill. I'm donating clothes and then they're selling the clothes. Yeah. But it makes sense because now they're selling them at cheap and I can go there and get those too. So that didn't make sense. But I don't think,
is Goodwill a nonprofit?
I was only speaking on the I'm giving something for free. Oh,
and then they just directly selling it.
Yeah, and they selling it. So that's what I was speaking on, because that's like same thing with the data. Yeah. Kind of like so yeah, like for me, I mean, I don't see nothing wrong with it in this type of society. Yeah. But I do see how people can not like that. Yeah. Like, as far as a business sense, I would just go with profit because it's much easier. And if I was trying to be helpful, they say they are, like, say, like there's a company that sells socks. They just so for every sock, for every sock that you buy, a free one goes to somebody homeless. Like something like that. I'd rather do that. Or like Chipotle, even though their system is different because they work with farmers. Certain things that you buy from a percentage of that goes to local farmers. I'd rather do that as a business standpoint.
Yeah.
But as a person just looking on it like I'm giving my blood and you selling my blood for this, or like, you know, I feel like where I need to know where that money's going. I would like to know where that money's going.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to know how much is that going to the CEO and the employees.
Yeah.
Compared to to the hospitals and what you're trying to help. Like when they was donated to like Blue Cross, and it was like, okay, we're gonna do this for these earthquakes, and then you look at them houses that they've been
in Haiti,
yeah,
that didn't get built,
and you looking at them,
they built like 10 houses,
and the ones in Africa,
yeah.
And then you
what was that, UNICEF, or was it somebody?
I think that was UNICEF because it was like because I think
that's
why
I don't like because then that's how they work. Because I think that's a part of it that I don't like.
Yeah,
is that although you're supposed to be more transparent because you are a charity, a lot of the times they're not. Yeah. And then stuff like that happens, and I guess that gets muddled. That's easy to do because you're talking about another country, so it's harder maybe to keep track of that stuff. But sometimes I don't know how to feel if like the CEO or something, a blood connection, like is continually getting like raises every year. I'm like, what is that?
I mean, that's what happened with most companies.
Like, what does it mean? Like, what does it mean for business to be booming at blood connection? Does that mean you get more blood donations? Like, what does it mean? Like, how do you think?
I mean, every business, whether profit or non-profit, has a margin or has a rate of return.
Yeah.
Right. So it's like, okay, well, we had 15 people this year give blood. Okay, well, this is what we able to spend on employees and the CEO or whatever.
And if you can make that happen on that budget, then I give you.
So now we have a 300. So everything should increase from top to bottom. Now, if everything's supposed to be 5%, 10%, or 30%, then it's changed to 2%, 2%, 50%, then that may be a problem. As far as the CEO getting more and not spreading it, or less money is getting put out there for the like the buildings that's being built. So like everything over here, as far as employees and CEOs, money is increasing, but you're still using the revenue, the regular budget, the first budget of income for the projects that you got.
Yeah.
I think that's the problem. Like y'all still building 2 houses a year instead of building. The revenue went up for you to build 50, but you're still doing 2,
right?
5.
But you getting the raise.
But the raise, I get the raise. I think
that's the problem.
Yeah, then that'll be the problem.
I don't like it. But we'd have to
monitor
that. So, but I think that now that I know that they selling blood for $150 a pop. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. People should be like, hey, what's going on?
Yeah, I think it makes you look more into it. Yeah, it should make you look.
That's why we talking about it.
Yeah, that's a fact. But I don't really have a problem with it based on what we live in, but I think it should be a better system.
Just how we need to survive is money. Money runs everything.
Yeah, because nonprofits do help.
Yeah.
I mean, they do a good job when they actually
do what they're supposed to do.
Do what they're supposed to do and also do the minimum.
Yeah.
Even when they do the minimum, it helps.
Something. Yeah.
Because those Hades wasn't in those some of those houses went in the houses that they did build wasn't in the places where they said they should go, or wasn't how they interpreted where they supposed to go. Somebody got those houses.
Yeah. Somebody got help.
Somebody got help. And in Africa, not everybody got them houses built somewhere foolishly.
But what do you think about that label of like that other people use, like nonprofits, like churches, or I think Boy Scouts of America, they're also considered a nonprofit. And I don't know how, but I guess because they're a religious organization or they do public safety somehow. I don't know. But so what do you think about those type of nonprofits? That I guess they help people or provide some service, but they also get the benefits of nonprofit. Because you can be for public and private and a private entity. So you can have your own little mission or whatever that just, helps. Helps a certain group of people, but still get that nonprofit tag.
That my thing. Sometimes it's up to the individual. I don't like it. Well, I don't like it just far as like that type of stuff, because like the Boy Scout stuff, I think that's fine. Yeah. Church, I guess
I mean, not everything that's going on in the Boy Scouts, but
from the intent. From the intent. That's funny. But the intent itself, I think is fine. I think it does help. I think it helps in a lot of areas, even though there is some.
I was in the
drawback.
Boy Scouts.
I was in Boy Scouts.
Yeah. I got kicked out.
We all got kicked out.
Yeah. Yeah, what's up with that?
It was a good experience. The little bit I remember. But still, I think those things are...
Side note. No, go ahead.
I think the same thing that goes with the company. It's just like, how well are y'all doing that? Are their uniforms increasing as the amount of members come in, as the amount of donors come in? Is that increasing, or is it becoming more and more top heavy?
Yeah.
And I think with church, I'm not always okay with it, but as far as like separation of church and state, if we can get that completely separated, as far as like everything, as far as like politics and church, I would be fine with it.
Yeah.
You know, but it's not always the case.
Yeah.
I mean, the church is a cheat code.
Yeah, it definitely is a cheat code. Like the mega churches and stuff like that. Especially when you get to that level, it is.
I think it's a cheat code, but I think some people do have good intentions. But I don't always think all of them have good intentions. Like I need y'all to donate so I can get this plane.
Yeah, I don't understand how, at least churches of that size, is like the mega churches, how they avoid not stepping into that profit business category. Because it's one thing to meet costs, like for a local church to meet costs, where how much they're able to bring in through tithing and donations, like at church service or whatever. Usually they break even. But when you get to that mega level church, and like a lot of it is just straight profit, and you got money to like buy G7s and stuff like that.
Yeah.
When you step into that territory, it's like, I don't understand how you still are able to keep that
like you avoid it.
Non-profit.
Just like a lot of billionaires just make their own salary $1. So I don't have to pay income tax. Or I'm gonna sell off these stocks and let the price drop so I can use the loss for. I mean, it's just a cheat code. That's all it is. Like I say, nonprofit is more of a tax code than actual nonprofit.
Yeah,
like you're gonna profit by having a nonprofit, quote unquote. You know what I'm saying? It's just really just a tax code.
Yeah.
So it's just like, I think on that level, but how would you do it? Like, well, if you're making this above this, then you should be. There's always gonna be a way to get out of that. I think the what if I spend everything on the church? I made the parking lot bigger. I made the seats more cushioned.
And I think that's how it is, because I think the definition was you can remain a nonprofit as long as you meet business costs. So if everything is going into the business and you're not just taking money out of the business, I think you're able to still categorize that as nonprofit work. And that's including sales tax and stuff on like other merch. If you can, because a lot of times they get around that by people masking sales as donations. Like if you donate this amount, you'll get this. Yeah. But it's really, you just bought this shirt for like $15. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. It's just a cheat code, bro. It's just like knowing like the stuff that we've been looking up. You know, just learning how to get away with, like, we made significant amount of money this year for our stocks. Yeah. Now we're looking at taxes. Now we're like, okay,
allegedly,
very allegedly,
allegedly. We might need to wrap this up.
Yeah. start dry snitching. You know what I'm saying? So but like we had to look up. Okay, I can do this, this, and this.
Yeah.
And it's really just a way for me to get out of it. And that's why I think a lot of churches look at it as it's a business. I ain't saying all churches are based on the business of making money, but because you're making money, it's kind of running like a business.
Yeah.
Especially when you get to the mega level. Right? You have to.
You don't have a choice but to run it like a business. Yeah, to stay afloat.
Just stay afloat. Make sure you know everything is right as far as taxes, or like make sure you're not dabbling over here. Make sure you're doing the right thing within the tax code that you say you're in.
Yeah.
So you have to do it anyway.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, so I think I'm okay with it within the rules, because if you learn the rules, it'll benefit you.
Yeah.
Now, do I think the game should be better? Of course.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I get flopping in the NBA, but it's a part of the game.
It's part of the game, and I get it.
You know, at some point they stopped letting James Harden get those fouls.
Yeah, and then now you have to adapt, and I'm okay with that. As long as those rules apply to everybody.
Yeah,
I think that's when I'm okay with it.
Yeah, we didn't have a conversation about taxes and stuff too, like big business. That'll be interesting. Yeah, how they dodge taxes and stuff. But I think so. To wrap it up, I'm okay with it. It again, for me, it was just a little bit jarring to just hear like they're selling it, but I understand that it costs to run a business, period. And they're going to need that money. And I would like if it was more transparent and to see, just like how we talk about other taxes that we pay, if we could see how it's actually being spent, I would be more okay with that.
I think a lot of times you can see it if it's a private, it's private.
But I'm cool with it, but it's still a bit like
I'm pretty sure it's some type of information you can go look, and they'll give you enough information to satisfy the donor. You know, so I think that'll be okay. But as far as my thoughts on it, I'm okay as long as the rules apply to everybody, and within the system of being that we in America, I think is fine. I do think the game itself or the system itself needs to be better. But the where they operating in, I think is fine.
Yeah. So thank you for joining us. If you have any thoughts about whether or not nonprofits should make profits or not, make sure you let us know in the comments. Hit us up on social media platforms, wherever.
That's a fact. Like, comment, and subscribe. Hit that bell and help us get that algorithm up. We need some more subscribers. Please subscribe to our content and comment. We love the comments. If we said something wrong, we said something that you may not like, comment, man. We don't mind interacting with y'all.
And let us know what you want to talk about, what you're interested in talking about.
Send us some topics, man.
We'll talk about videos. We'll talk about. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm stepping on your toes.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, man.
My
you
toes are fine.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Send us some videos you want us to react to, or just ask us our opinion on certain things. You know what I mean? Any topic. We always got an opinion on anything.
And I guess that's it. And as always, mind the gap.